Hello, welcome to the bee vlog. I'm Bill, and I have my friend Will here who's going to be helping me today, but he's camera shy. So if you see a second guy on camera, that's who it is. But he's going to be doing a trap out next week, and he's looking for a nuke that he can use to help draw in the bees. So I'm going to be splitting this hive today. This has actually been a plan of mine all year, that sometime in late June or early July I was going to split my stronger hives. So it's that time, and this is one of my strong hives. If you remember, this was a hive that I got last year from a cutout that I did in that pillar. I'll link you to the video. But this is currently, it's 5 medium boxes high, and as I go through I'm going to look for honey to see how much honey there is. Maybe I'll be able to harvest some today. Otherwise, the main plan today is to fill these nuke boxes with bees, and I have 3 here just in case I can do a 3-way split. But I have to really see how much frames of eggs I've got and how many frames of brood there are before I can actually make a determination on how many splits I can do. But I want to see if I can maximize and get another 3 queens out of this really strong and good quality hive. This is a heavy one. It's going to be loaded with honey. This one had honey from last year, or from winter in it. Over winter there were 3 tall. We'll see how much honey is in it today. It doesn't feel as heavy as the other 2. No, it's lighter.
When was the last time you inspected this one?
April.
Wow.
Take a look at that bee. That tiny one.
Uh-huh.
That is. And this one's chewing on her.
Well.
Or grooming her or something.
Oh. Yeah, it's like grooming kind of.
It's weird.
Both of them are.
Kind of going after that one.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks a lot smaller than the others.
Mm-hmm.
This bee here we think maybe has some kind of a virus. You'll see that on her thorax, that's the center section, there's no hair. Normally the female bees have hair on their thorax. They look really fuzzy. This one is bald. We call this maybe a greasy bee, and she's shaking. Not sure what the virus might be here. Might be bee paralysis virus or acute Israeli virus. But we think that we're seeing a few of these in the hive. It's not throughout the hive. Most of the bees look healthy, but we're seeing maybe 5%, 1% of the bees are looking like this. Here's your typical worker bee, female, fuzzy, more active, no shaking. Can fly. This is a drone. They're bigger, male, no stinger. Their one purpose in life is to find and mate with a queen. They can't work around the hive because they don't have the equipment for it. They're easily identified not only by their size, but their eyes are very big and close together. There's the queen there, right at the tip of my finger. Queen Helen is her name. So we're going to leave that frame in the hive so we know where she is. So I don't want to move the queen. Now here's a good example of some drone brood. The brood capping is bulbous. Looks like the tip of a bullet. That indicates it's a drone bee. And then on the other side of the frame, the cappings covering the brood are flat. That indicates that it's a worker or a female bee. And then over here in this corner, the capping is very waxy, almost translucent. That indicates that it's honey. And this honey here has ripened to the point where it's dry enough that it won't ferment or go rotten. As I was going through the fourth box, we found a lot more brood, so I decided to go ahead and do a third split. And now we're down to just 3 boxes tall instead of 5, because I took 5 frames of honey as well. So we removed a total of 20 frames, 15 to each split, and then 5 in the honey harvest down in inside that box there, under the lids to keep the bees out. Previously the upper box had a hole here for ventilation. Since I'm losing that, I'm going to try putting pennies in the corners for ventilation in the upper box. I'm going to do the same thing on the nucs. This is a vent that costs 2 cents. Just in the front corners. So that little gap there is the penny vent. They might propolize it closed if they don't want it, but it's available in case they do.